Yo, what is up guys, Grim here, and in today's video we're going to be covering which maps you can guarantee force into your map pool with Horizon Orbs in 3.16. So this is always a massive part of the endgame mapping meta, and we've just got the information today of what maps we're going to have the option to force and how likely it's going to be that we get them. So without further ado, let's get into it, as it's pretty interesting. So if you guys didn't know, I'll quickly explain what I'm talking about here. So I've got a T16 map here, and I have a bunch of Horizon Orbs. So when you Horizon a map, you can see that it's going to be telling you, a few different maps over and over and over again. And it'll do this because those are the only natural T16 maps on the Atlas. And that's what's important here, natural. So basically the maps that we're about to talk about, you can force with the Horizon Orb, and you have a 1 in whatever chance it is to get them with those Horizon Orbs. Now, Horizon Orbs are generally really cheap. They're definitely around the price of an Alchemy Orb, and you can buy them in bulk. So that's pretty important, and you can, a pretty good strategy is to often, either Horizon a bunch of your maps to get rid of the bad layouts, or Horizon a bunch of maps to start your map pool out. So let's get into it. Okay, so first up here, we have Summit as a T16 map. It is the only Horizonable T16 map. Assuming that everything is business as usual, when you use a Horizon Orb on a T16 map, the only map you can get is Summit. And that's incredibly relevant. So you can literally turn any of the T16 layouts that you have on your Atlas into Summits with one orb. Let's talk a little bit about the implications of this, because this one's probably the most important. So Summit is in a pretty interesting place. Summit is in Valdo's Rest here. Now, Valdo's Rest is the Delve area. So Delvers are all about buying maps using Sulfite Scarabs to kind of work on them, going into the map, running around it, picking up all the piles and teleporting out. And having one map layout, which is incredibly good for Sulfite, I think Summit is a pretty good one, is very, very big for them. So if you're a Delver, this is the Delve League. You can easily get maps, you can easily run them, and there's not going to be any issues at all. Any T16 map becomes the perfect Delve map, which is really, really awesome, and it's going to be really great for Delvers. Also on Summit though is Blight. Blight is obviously very good, as well as Harbinger with Diplomatic Escort. So for mappers, there is also some juice to be had there. If you want to Horizon all your T16s into Summit, you can then get on board with the Blight and Harbinger kind of combo, or you could go for a bit of Delirium action as well if you're so inclined to use a few 1 or 2 orb Delirium maps. You can farm up either the unique jewels, clusters, or anything you want like that. So definitely a lot of opportunity there with Summit, and it's a very, in my opinion, very good layout. It's not an S tier layout, but it's a pretty good layout if your build is capable of clearing open tile sets. So very nice there. Alright, let's get into the T15s here, because this is where the stuff really opens up. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 T15s here. So when you're rolling your Horizon Orb, that means you're going to have a 1 in 7 shot of getting any specific one you want. But there's a lot of really good layouts in here, so you're going to be able to Horizon them into a reasonably strong map pool without having to spend too many orbs. So of course, 1 in 7, what is that? I mean, you guys can do the odds, but it's reasonably high chances of getting your whole Atlas pool into a good layout. So let's talk about a few of them here. So we got Alleyways, we got Arachnid Nest, Plateau, and Park as the standout maps here. So I would classify Park as an S tier map. Also, Alleyways, in my opinion, is S tier because of its divination card as well as its layout. And Plateau is also S tier in my opinion, as it's got one of the fastest layouts if you've got high movement speed, and there's not a whole lot in the way of you clearing fast. Arachnid Nest has insane density, and it's a pretty good map too. It's about an A tier. The rest are not as good, but overall we got some very, very good maps in here. Any of those 4 which I just described, so 4 out of 7 are very, very strong map picks. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's talk a little bit about these. So Park, in my opinion, is going to be one of the best Scourge layouts, from what I understand of the mechanic right now. It remains to be seen if that's true, but Scourging up Parks is definitely one thing which I had on my mind, and I think a lot of people might be doing the same. So Park is in Greenwich, Cairns. Greenwich Cairns is, of course, the Beyond area, and if Scourge works the way we think it does, going in the Beyond area, rolling Beyond on the map, and then also rolling Beyond on the map device, and then Scourging it up is going to be one of the more interesting things that you can do with the Scourge League. It's going to give you so many monsters in that map, it's going to be ridiculous. This is also combined with Abyss, which gives you some of the most rare monsters that you can get in a map as well, so this combination is going to be very, very powerful. and I think that horizoning into parks is definitely something that's going to be on my to-do list very, very early on in the league. So also in Glennick, we have Plateau, another reasonably good choice here. Plateau is more of a speed clearing map, so you're probably going to see people using it for incursion, so you can kind of like pump out some plateaus really quick as well, so super duper awesome there. In addition to that, what else did we have? We had Arachnid Nest, which we've also got in Lyra Arthane. Arachnid Nest is super duper nice for doing maybe some Breach, maybe a bit of Bestiary, and maybe it's okay for Incursion, Expedition, but you know, mainly Breach and Bestiary I think that people will be going to be using for this one here, with the Horizon Orbs, which is not too bad. And the last one we had here was Alleyways, which I think that we have, where do we have Alleyways? Alleyways is Haywake Hamlet. So this one's probably going to be used for Harvest, as well as Essence. So you can probably getting a few of those, which is pretty nice. I wouldn't be sorry to see any of those maps in my map pool, and I'm going to be pumping the Horizon Orbs this league. Absolutely, no doubt. So T14s here are the last one. These are definitely a little bit less kind of enticing here, but we still have some good maps in here, unlike past leagues. We got Crimson Temple, which is a super duper nice map if you can deal with the closed layout. And we have Shore, and I think it's okay, but mainly Shore and Crimson Temple. So I would recommend against Horizon your T14s for the most part, and just focus on your T15s and 16s, because those are where you're going to be getting your most bang for your buck. And you can get a really, really good assortment of all of the different areas with really good layouts, which is super duper awesome. Unfortunately, there's not really any map that you can Horizon into a good Legion layout, but everything else kind of is represented, and you can run a pretty good strategy around it. So Horizon Orbs looking insanely juicy, guys. Obviously, you can see here I'm using my Scourge Atlas cheat sheet here. There'll be a video on all the strats coming up, don't you worry. Hope you guys enjoyed another little bit of a short video from the Grim, and I'll see you guys later. If you haven't subbed already, please do, and until then, cheers.